Good morning. Good morning. I think I'm live. Let me turn this up. Hi. Good morning, LinkedIn family. This is Coaching with Marlene Nicole. I'm a little late, but you know how it is. When you go live, birds start squawking and the lawmen come. So I had to change my time. But nevertheless, good morning. Hey, this is Coaching with Marlene Nicole. Hopefully, you can hear me, you can see me well. This is all around just really unleashing your energy to achieve balance and fulfillment and success in your life. As a life coach and a master energy coach, I am especially excited about helping women to be able to unleash the power within them using energy, creating in a different way, energy being the way you think, the way you feel, the way you behave. I truly believe that there is another way of creating outside of hustle and competition and fighting and struggling. And we just have not been taught that. We haven't been given the tools for that. And so this is my contribution to sharing some of the tools, strategies, and skills that I use personally that I teach to my clients. So I did a survey questionnaire, 2 minute questionnaire. So if you didn't get it and you're a highly achieved woman or want to be a highly achieved woman, I will put the link in here. And so hopefully you can take the survey for me. And so thank you for those who did take the questionnaire. The survey took less than a minute. Thank you for sharing. I really appreciate it. And so from that, a lot came up around careers. And so I want to discuss this week around mastering your career, igniting passion and progression in your field, because this is something that highly achieved that is top of mind for a lot of highly achieved women. Now, a lot of the women that come to me have established careers. And so a lot of times they're looking to exit, change, or enhance their career. And so we work with those as well. So we work with in a different way using energy around their career. So this may be different than what how you're used to looking at your career. Like, hey, I need a raise. I need to know my worth. I need to know my value. I need to get a promotion, and all those things become a end result. But the way we get there is probably different than a lot of coaches out there are doing or career coaches are doing, unless they're energy core coach. Then maybe you're experiencing this. So I'm going to share some new that may be new to you, some new terms, some new um, words, new concept and principles that I use inside of my program. I've discovered this. If you heard my story, I discovered this about 5, 6 years ago. I lose track of time. About 5, 6 years ago, when I was struggling in my own life with really just not feeling happy. So work was going well, marriage was going well. God was calling me into something new. So I was excited about that, but there was just something missing in my life and I wasn't as happy as I could be. And so I met a coach who was a core energy coach, started coaching with her. And that's how I discovered energy coaching and how my life changed around dramatically from one coaching call with her and learning about what I'm going to teach you today around your self perception, around your energy. And I'll just keep talking about this for the rest of the week. So tune in. I'll try to keep these short and so that way you'll have time to listen to them. So today is all around mastering your career, igniting passion and progression in your field. And I'm going to start with what is it that you desire? So one of the first things when women come to me about their career is is really defining what success is. And I want to use one of the examples from yesterday, and I wrote down what she said. She said that she was loving her industry. She was a manager, but she was struggling to become director. And one of the key things, I'm not sure who this person was, but if you're listening, hopefully you grab this nugget. One of the key things she wrote in the questionnaire was that it's not that I'm that into titles, but it's something that haven't been able to happen in more passion. And so she's manager, she wants to be director, she hasn't been able to get the title change, you get the promotion. She keeps getting denied promotion. So and some more people, again, a lot of the surveys around career and finance and health. And so I think this is just perfect. So fill out the survey and maybe you'll get your solution to some of the things you put on the survey. And I know I'm talking super low, so hopefully you can hear me. Okay. I don't know why my energy is kind of low today. But let's talk about that. So, if this is you, if you're wanting to ignite more passion and progression in your field, right, in your career, I want you to really pay attention. I'm a teacher, kind of coach, consultant, so just do the exercise with me because that's just the way I learn best by by doing. And so, kinetically learning is the way I teach as well. And so, when we start talking about igniting your passion and progression in your field, I'm going to have a few things for you to write down. But I want to mention here up front why it's top of mind for me is that we have it's important for us to start shifting our perspective on what work is about. So let's go ahead and what define success for yourself. So when you're thinking about your career, when you think about igniting your passion and progressing in your field, what would that look like? What would success look like? I want you to define what success look like for that, right? For igniting your passion, progressing in your field, right? And this is important because our jobs, our careers is not just about paying the bills, right? It's not just about providing a lifestyle for us. Those things are like benefits, like cherries on top. But if we go higher to a higher level, and if you've been rocking with me for any time, you know I'm all about the spiritual laws, right? All about the spiritual laws because what's above, so below. Meaning that there we see this, and I don't want to sound all woo-woo, but it's just truth, right? We have this physical world, but as human beings, we are spiritual beings, right? We are spiritual, having a human experience. So we're more spiritual than human. We have governing the nature of spiritual laws, right? You plant a seed, you water it, plant it on the ground, it grows, right? So there are universal laws, gravity, right? All these universal laws dictate and govern how we show up. But we forget about that. We forget about the spiritual laws. And I think it's because we go more into religion and look at the religious side, but not the spiritual side behind even the religion. It doesn't matter what your religion. There's universal spiritual laws that's governing us, governing everything we do, and it's also governing the work that you do. So I want you to just go upstairs, like take this like where you're at and go upstairs, right? So going upstairs means that let's think about your career, your work that you do different than just paying the bills, providing a lifestyle for yourself and your children. Okay. Think about it from a spiritual standpoint, right? Think about it as our purpose in life, right? We're all sent here to do something. And so your career, your job is all either you're living in your purpose or you're it's grooming you for your ultimate purpose. And I don't think there's just one ultimate purpose, right? I think there's different levels and depths to our purpose, but your career plays such an important key role in that. But we have been taught and programmed to make it just about paying bills, just about a lifestyle, taking a trip, buying the clothes, having freedom. But true freedom is knowing that you're on a path and a journey and that your career and contributing in this powerful way to humanity is part of the real purpose of your career. So I want you to think about the work that you do. How is it contributing to mankind? How is it contributing to the goodness of the world? Because that is the most important piece when we're thinking about our careers that nobody talks about, right? I don't care if you're picking up trash or you're creating software that's going to save right, save the ecosystem. It doesn't, or anything in between. There's the work that we do must be contributing to humanity in some great way. Okay. And in that, whether it's personal, financial, industry, healthcare, right, it doesn't have to be, may not be as obvious in how it's contributing, but it is contributing to the good of something or someone and to the mankind. And so when you start thinking about your definition of success, I want you to include in there the part about the spiritual aspect of your career and how am I contributing to mankind? How am I contributing to the good of the world? How is what I'm doing, counting widgets, doing accounting, uh, you know, dispensing medicine, helping companies grow, helping people grow? How is your work contributing to the good of mankind, even if it's one person, right? How is your, whether you're checking out somebody at the register or you're managing people at a huge corporation, it doesn't matter. You're doing diversity and inclusion work, it doesn't matter. How is your work, the work that you're doing, contributing to mankind? Put that in your definition of success. And from here on out, I want you to start thinking about it in that way. The money will come, right? When we add value, the natural law of compensations, it brings back to us what we need in excess, a hundredfold, right? So when you're showing up at work, you're showing up with the mindset of the spiritual law of contributing value, giving and receiving, you're automatically stepping into a universal law that works for everybody. As I give, so I receive. As I sow, so I reap. Right. But and yet it's depending on what level in which you're approaching. So if you're sowing frustration, right? You go to work and you're just frustrated, then you're going to reap frustration. If you go to work and you're feeling like a victim, and I'm going to talk about that in a second, and you're feeling hopeless, helpless, unable to do anything for yourself at the effect of others, then you're going to receive, you're going to reap the same thing in return. Low wages, not being promoted, getting extra work without the benefit, no recognition, right? Getting laid off first, right? Because you're, the mindset in which you have also dictates what you receive. Now, that's not to say that things does not occur to us, things doesn't happen to us, we don't get laid off, we don't get fired, be, and we're thinking great thoughts, right? We're at a high energy, those things still happen, but even in that, it has a reason and a purpose. Because a lot of times, and this is a side note, but a lot of times what I've seen in my own life experience is that when I've been laid off, I've never been fired, but like company layoffs, I I knew before it happened in my spirit that it was time for me to move on to something different. But because I was like, I got to pay the bills, the economy's not good, or I'm comfortable, whatever the story I was telling myself why I wouldn't let go of that job and find something different, it's like the universe, God forced me out of that position. And probably because it was somebody else's blessing. And every time, even though there was that period of discomfort of not having that income, I still always ended out on the better side of that with something greater, something stretching me, something. And I'm like, man, I'm so happy I'm not still there. Right. So that was a long way around talking about the spiritual side. So let me keep going, because why is that important? Why is defining what success look like is important? Because things that are important to you are the things that get put on the calendar, the things that get your attention and your intention, and those are the things that grow. So if you're at a lower level of energy and that your career and your job and the title and the promotion you want is just about paying the bills or just about feeding your ego, then you're more than likely not going to have the energy to make it come into fruition, because it's not really that important to all of mankind. I know that's kind of deep, right? But it's like, what's your reason why you want to be successful has to not only just be about you, your for, and no more. When we're talking about spiritual laws, when we're talking about contributing to the whole, right? It has to be about you and serving others, serving the greater whole, right? So if your vision is tunnel vision and you're just focused on paying your bills, taking care of your kids, taking care of your family, having your lifestyle, and that's what success is for you, is not right or wrong, but it's a lower level of energy, and you're going to have to work harder, you're going to have to compete more, you're going to have to work to prove yourself more, instead of when you have the spiritual mindset or vision or lens of, this is contributing to me and it's contributing to the whole. That's why I wanted you to put in your definition of success, how is this also contributing to the whole? Right? Because that makes it important and that gives you purpose, that gives you passion. And when you can show up knowing that you're contributing to the goodness of the earth, contributing as a human being, a good citizen, right? That brings and ignites our soul's passion. People say, do what you're passionate about, and you'll never feel like you worked a day in your life. I say, and I've learned, become passionate about what you do, and you'll never feel like you've worked a day in your life. And passion has to be ignited, right? It has to be flamed, it has to be um, activated, right? I guess that means the same thing as ignited within you. You can't wait for something or somebody outside of you to come along and ignite your passion. While you can be inspired by others, but if you're waiting for the promotion to inspire you and make you feel passionate and make you feel like you're contributing to the whole, then it's going to take a long time energetically for that promotion to come. And you're going to have to work really hard, get a lot of degrees, get a lot of experience, get a lot of mentoring, a lot of coaching. Instead of saying, listen, Marlena said, the universal law, the spiritual law is that I ignite passion because I'm contributing to something greater than myself and I'm benefiting, right? Giving and receiving. And that will help me become progressive in my field. That's what I'm saying. So if you're feeling like your promotion, you keep getting looked over, you're feeling like you're having to work 10 times harder than everybody else, then it's probably because you're looking for something outside of you to change your perspective and change and ignite passion for you. What I'm saying is let's do the reverse. Let's go higher. So within, so without. Meaning spiritual law, so above, so below, meaning that that which is within you is going to reflect in your reality. So whatever thoughts, emotions, feelings, belief, and values that you have around your career, around your contribution, around your life, around the situation you're in, is going to reflect outward with the things that you want the most. Make sense? All right. And this is going a little long. So I'm just going to touch on your self perception in the 7 levels and how it relates to the whole. So that way you'll see, we'll talk a little bit later about um, how all this plays together later in the week. So let me switch over here so you can see this. So this was created by my coach, my mentor, Bruce Snyder, has a whole program around it. Over 30,000 people have experienced this self-perception, energy self-perception chart. It's had backed by research, right? So this is not just something Marlena pulled out of her hat, which would have been brilliant because it works and it is absolutely what changed my life. And this is what I work with my women with. And this is the game changer that why my women are able to become so successful in my programs is because we're dealing with spiritual laws on a level that we can understand it, right? And so energetic self-perception is all your energy is all about how you think, how you feel, how you behave. And that creates your reality. That creates how you show up, right? That creates what you experience in life. And there's 7 different levels to your self-perception. Think about it as the way you see yourself, and this can be yourself, the world, or a situation. We're going to just focus on the part of how you see yourself here. And there's 7 different levels. Each level is what I call anabolic or catabolic. Catabolic being draining, destructive, fear-based energy. Anabolic is exciting, success focused energy. Okay. And it's all based on how you see yourself. Starting from the lowest level of level 1 is 100% destructive, draining energy. Level 7 is the highest level you can reach. I always say, think of Jesus, right? That passion, that fire, creating miracles. Because when you're tapping into these levels of energy and the way you think about yourself, that's when you feel like things are happening with ease and flow and feel like you produced a miracle in your life. Okay. And it works like a Wi-Fi signal, your self-perception, in the sense that you're sending out either a low frequency and I can't hear you. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? And things are coming a lot slower. Your dreams where you got to work a lot harder. There's a lot more obstacles that you got to break down, a lot more hills you have to climb when you're at level 1, level 2, level 3. As you move your thought process up, when you start thinking and feeling more joyous, more solution focused, not being a victim, contributing to the whole, right? When you start looking at your job from not a place of level one of I gotta survive, I need a paycheck to survive, and I'm dependent on my boss and my job to help me survive, that limits you and puts you in a level one energy, victim, apathy, lethargic, low frequency. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Survivor mode. And when you're in survival, you're not growing. And if you're growing very slowly because all that you're focused on, this tunnel vision, you're only focused on feeding, eating, sheltering yourself. And that is a low energy. Okay. But when you start to shift how you see yourself, more powerful, more compassionate, um, that's when you start to see promotions come faster. That's when you're not working as hard but smarter. That's when people are speaking your names in rooms because your energy has created it in rooms that you're not in because that's what everybody wants, right? In good ways, right? And that's because your energy have created. But what we're taught and what we know is that I have to work hard. I got to show my work. I got to put my head down and keep it going when that so that somebody else can create an opportunity for me, so my boss or my director can give me the promotion. No, we're not waiting for somebody to give us something. We're going to create what we want from the inside out, starting with how we see ourselves, right? Are you seeing yourself as a victim? Are you seeing yourself that I can't get this next title? One of the thing, going back to the example that someone put in the survey, was that I want the title of director, not that I'm that into titles, right? So it's like she wants it, but then she's also hesitant to receive it. And so it's like, are you creating it or are you not creating it, right? It's either this title is important to me because, right, what success is, why it's important, or it's not. So it's like you're pressing on the gas and the brake at the same time, and so you're not going anywhere. All because you haven't defined what success is, understood how you're contributing to the whole, and then writing down and standing on why it's important for you to have this director title or whatever it is for you. Right? I'm just using this example since she was so kind to fill out the survey. And so I'm going to, for the rest of the week, I'm just going to leave this here. We're going to dive more into this energetic self-perception and look at the layers in which you see yourself, right? Because that determines your outcome. That determines your promotion, not your boss, not how hard you work, not how well you do your work, because you have seen people who haven't worked as hard, who haven't done as well as you, get promoted. Now we can say there's biases. I'm black, or I'm Chinese, or I'm white, or I'm green, and that's why, and that may play a factor in it. But the spiritual laws supersede man's behavior every single day. Meaning, what you think and feel and perceive about yourself is more important and is going to govern what you bring into your life more than somebody else limiting view or bias of you. And that's the truth that nobody wants to talk about. What you think about yourself will override any barrier, any obstacle, any bias, any prejudice that comes against you. Because the spiritual law says what's above, so below. What's within is so without. But it's you are the creator and the co-creator of your life, not anybody else. They're just enablers. They're resources to help you get what you want. Everything in the universe is conspiring. I'm going to leave you with this last thought. Everything in the universe is conspiring to help you get what you want, but you have to define it. You have to know how it's contributing to the whole in a good way. And you got to know why it's important. It's a whole lot of gotta. All right. It's important for those things because that is what's going to ignite the passion that propels you in the field that you're in or another field. Right. You got to believe what you say and what you think about yourself creates your life more so than what something or somebody else say. Level one energy is when you're waiting for somebody else to give you something that you need to create for yourself. All right. I'm going to stop here just for brevity. And I will talk to you soon. All right. I'll see you tomorrow, 7 a.m. for sure.